Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sigma Footy, the home of the unfiltered, biased but passionate football stream. So the group stages of the Euros have finally wrapped up. What an amazing finale day with so many turn of events, especially in Group F, the group of death. Really,
Yes.
really lived up to the reputation. But first, guys, I think we need to give a round of applause to the amazing and brave Hungary team. Okay, what a performance
Definitely.
they put on,
Yes.
right?
Massive game.
They were amazing tactically. I think they planned their group stages, all the group games well, like how to approach each game. I think they were very unlucky against Portugal the first game. I think until the 85th minute, only they considered through a deflected goal. They managed to help the champions France, but in the last game, they gave an almighty scare to Die Mannschaft. Die Mannschaft almost died, if not for the last 5 minutes deflected goal by Goretzka. So
Right.
Anand, coming to you, what happened? You guys were so confident after you guys, literally trashed Portugal. But what happened in this game?
Um, so in the previous video, like I said, right, Portugal made Germany look so good that we all had a change of hearts about how Germany would go into this tournament. But likewise, their weakness were exploited very well. I think even better than France by Hungary, even though despite not having the attributes or the skills that France had. Hungary went on with a superb game plan to block Germany's defense. But on top of that, I was very disappointed on Joachim Low for taking on Muller in this game. Because we all know Hungary, how they played the past three games. They were very solid in defense, and they had a game plan where they utilize counter-attack and long balls to score goals. And the only way for us to give problem to Hungary is to pull out or deform their defense. And without Muller, how do you expect that with the current German squad? And also, if you can see the first goal and also the second goal that Hungary scored, that is not new. I think Germans is going to face that problem throughout this tournament, because we all know that German defense is the weakness at the moment. But like you said, Ivan, I think even the commentary said if Germany were to lose there, right, I think everyone would go home. But Germany, it was happening. The game was happening in Germany, so Germany would stay at home.
That's the thing.
That was, yeah, exactly. That was another pressure altogether that was going on. Even I did not score for the last goal when Goretzka scored, and we managed to draw. Hats off to Hungary. If Hungary were in any other group, I think they would have at least managed to get a third spot and managed to go to the next round. But sad that they didn't have the extra capabilities or extra X factor to have that, the turnover where German and France did to them.
Yeah, because the first two games against Portugal and France, they played in Budapest at their home. But this game, they played in Munich. But the Portugal-France game, okay, we'll come to Kevin. That was played in Budapest, actually. So, were you satisfied with how France performed in this match? Or do you feel like, this France team can actually play better than what they're actually doing?
Okay. To be honest, yes, France can play better because this is not how the squad is with the capabilities they have, the players they have. So they should be scoring goals, I would say, in a better way. Not penalty, of course. That's just by luck. And see, Mbappe is not really taking full chances of what he can get. I think at the starting of the game against Portugal, he could have scored a good goal, nice pass again. But yeah, he failed to do so.
A nice pass by who?
So,
who?
who else?
But honestly, right, almost everything France doing well is through Pogba. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
His pass, and Pogba also tried, I would say, trying his shots, curling shots in. Yeah, that was a good save by
amazing save.
Rui Patricio.
What a save.
Yeah. Yeah, again, Griezmann, they are definitely still lacking of it. I would say the chemistry is not fully there. And I would got to say, Kante is the DM still supporting. But that's the reason why Pogba can go very freely. So yes, with the depth of the squad, they could have done better. But hopefully they are in a tough round of 16, and who knows who they might meet to go to final, which they will. So yeah,
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? I mean, like Portugal, Germany, France. I think this because of this group, it has exposed their weaknesses early on. I think compared to all the other teams, so it's making them like look vulnerable at this stage. But I think these three teams now, that since they have come out from the group, they can like start like a restart like that, and like, look at the other teams like they are the favorites because I think they have already played in such high intensity in this group, so they can look
Yeah,
forward after this, right? Welcome to
I
AC
like to
now.
add on.
that's agree.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, right.
okay. No, to talk about Griezmann, actually, I mean, yeah, I know he's not performing. I mean, it may seem that he's not performing well, but after watching his games, I mean, I've been watching all the France games, but I feel Griezmann is doing more in terms of defense and in terms of
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he comes
team
down a lot.
play. I'm quite impressed with Griezmann's influence in terms of teams. I mean, the team wise, I know he was one of the best players in World Cup last time, but for France, I think now he has all new a different role now, and I'm really quite impressed with the way that how he's not prioritizing to just score goals or just to hit the target. He's doing a lot more than other things, in the France team. So I like to add on that. So yeah.
Okay, we come to AC, top scorer, 5 goals. So I think Portugal played quite safely, AC. Like, but what do you say about it? Like, you wanted changes, right? And I think Renato Sanchez made a huge difference. So what do you say about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I actually had a very pleasant surprise when I saw the lineup. The fact that Portugal went in with just one defensive midfielder. We spoke about it in the previous call as well. So like you mentioned, I think it was so good to see Renato Sanchez in the midfield. To me, I felt like he did what he could against Kante and Pogba in the midfield. He one man basically ran the show for Portugal in midfield. I felt he did so well, even physically. He's not the biggest guy out there, obviously, but standing up against Pogba and so on, he showed how physical he can be. He really held the ball and he had to. And I think that made the biggest difference for Portugal because that wasn't happening in the previous games. There was no one to win the ball, hold the ball so that the entire team can go up. And I think Renato Sanchez brought that to the team. And because of that, we could see Portugal were going up more. But again, I think they still played too safe. They were not really creating too many chances. They sat back. I think just they went for a draw, right? They just wanted a safe result. And I think that's just what happened. But I was very, very pleasant with the performance of Renato Sanchez specifically. He did a really good job.
So do you feel
And
like
also AC, correct me if I'm sorry, Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask you one thing from your point of view. Like, do you think I feel Joe Moutinho played a very good game that day, but I still feel that he's a good substitute player rather than starting the game. Do you agree with me that? Because I feel like after one point, I feel like it's a bit uh, quite tired and stuff. So do you think he's a good player to start up? But he's good, but I feel he's a better player as a substitute.
See, I think the thing here is that when you start with players like Danilo and Renato Sanchez, I think you need Joao Moutinho to bring the balance in there. Because if you don't start Joao Moutinho, you're going to start with Ruben Neves. And I think they're both very similar kind of players. But the fact that Joao Moutinho possesses a bit more creativity in terms of his through balls, I think that will be important for Portugal. And I think that's what they wanted to do. But I think France still played very solid in terms of defense. So I don't think Joao Moutinho had the space even, right? Playing against Pogba and Kante, I think he was always surrounded anyways. I don't think he had the space and time to think of a pass to get to Ronaldo. But it felt like Portugal went with the plan of whoever gets the ball, try to get it to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo's going to score. Because they kept trying to give a high ball for Ronaldo to hit the ball in and so on. And I felt like that's the plan they went with. I don't think it worked, but at least they came off with a draw. And I just have to say that, the group of that really lived up to its name, not just because of the three teams that we thought it will be, but even
Everyone nearly died.
the team. Yeah, like, for me as a Portugal fan, when I'm watching the game, I'm literally having the live table on my phone and I see Portugal going first, second, third, and at one point they were last. And I was like, oh my God, please. It was so crazy, but like, and I think as a football fan, this is exactly what we want because I was on the edge of my seat for the entire 2 hours of the match.
Yeah, exactly.
And also like to add another one thing for all these three teams from Group D, Group F, the group of death, it's like a knockout 16, quarterfinal and semi-final. I felt they played these three games already. It's like every game was like, and Hungary is like the team that they should,
That is a dark horse.
No, Hungary
Yeah.
made this group really interesting. It was down to them.
Actually, yes.
They gave the
Yeah.
right fight for everything.
They only lost
And-
one
and I
game,
think-
Hungary.
Yeah.
And I agree with Ivan, right? The fact that so typically we see teams in tournaments like this, they start off quite slow and they peak as they go through the tournament, right? As they progress through. And I think for these three teams that qualified from this group of that, I think they have seen a lot of intense games now. They basically played very good teams among each other. So I think these teams would have the advantage going forward, because I think the other groups, I don't see them getting really challenged. I didn't see this kind of intensity in their game anyways. So yeah, it will be good to see how these teams progress as well.
Yeah, that's why England qualify even just scoring 2 goals.
Hungary scored more than England.
Oh God.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Talking about goals, right? I think AC, you would agree. I think we scored almost close to the whole tournament goals in the group stages itself.
Yeah.
Lots of goals came that group. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only reason the other group had a lot of goals was because Spain had a huge win the other day, right? But I think if you just take that game out, I think the other games didn't really produce so many goals anyways.
But Netherlands, I mean, they scored quite a amount of goals. Besides Netherlands, the rest.
Yeah, I
of
mean, but I mean, speaking as a group, I think like
yeah.
But I think that's the whole point, right? You have these three teams in this group. This is what you
That's what we
have
expect.
been expecting,
Yeah.
anyways. Yeah.
AC, talking about Spain, right? One of my friend had Morata in his fantasy team, and looking at the next day, finally he was all happy and then tuned up now that he get points. And then when he looked in the points, Morata got 2
Morata
and
just
minus
nothing.
2 for missing that penalty.
This is the penalty.
You see,
None of the 5 goals came from one striker. So.
He seems cursed, man.
And apparently, actually, Morata's family got death threats. He just recently
really?
reported. Yeah. He got
Because
death
the
threats.
previous game, I
But-
don't know if you all saw the previous game. He missed the rebound of Moreno's
Yeah, the
penalty,
rebound of the
Yeah,
penalty,
exactly.
which is so bad.
Mm.
Yeah,
But at the same time-
that's what makes me really like so baffled, because you see, he missed a sitter, a rebound from a penalty. What made them think that he can score the penalty itself? Are you telling me the entire Spain squad doesn't have a better penalty taker? You could have given to players like
No.
Koke and all that. Why him?
Yeah,
Because I think
That's
they want to give some confidence to him. But if you notice, I don't know if you all watched the game, the 5-0 game, and he walked out, the fans were cheering for him as though he scored all the 3 goals before he left. So I think they're trying to boost him. Even the commentators were quite surprised, like, okay, maybe this shows they're trying to support him. Yeah.
Oh,
He's,
that was a bit of
He did
action from
support
that
and
group.
He went
lah.
out.
Yeah.
He didn't score.
He's
Is
a-
it
he's a-
among the 5 goals? He didn't
No.
score. Oh,
Not even
wow.
one.
Okay.
No. And he's a Spanish Timo Werner. So sorry, Anand.
I think Timo Werner would have done more than him.
And the Chelsea's curse continue.
Yeah, both of them are Chelsea strikers. By the way.
Yeah.
But it was Werner's shot that got deflected and fell into the part of Goretzka. Like,
Yeah.
what luck is that?
Any
That's the way he
Sunday football
assists.
players would have done that. Sorry, Anand. I'm just quite frustrated with him.
I used to do that in FIFA.